Okay. All right. Hello, Dr. Wu.
Hi, Natasha. Nice seeing you.
Nice to see you too. So maybe I should get started because it's so short anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Jacqueline said she was really interested in seeing my presentation, so I'm just going to get started. Can you see my screen, Dr. Wu? Yes. All right. So hello, welcome, Jacqueline. Welcome, Megan. And I'm coming to you today from Delhi, India. It's 8 o'clock in the evening here. And I'm just wrapping up my day. I'm here to take care of my mom, who is in the hospital, actually. So that's the reason I'm here. But let's get to the point. My presentation is all about English for diplomacy. And this experience I had because I was an English language fellow in 2019 up to 2020-21, and I was placed in Egypt. And so that's how I have my title, Teaching and Learning in Old Cairo. So just a little bit about the English language programs. English language programs are run by the Department of State. The website is right here, elprograms.org, in case you're interested. They run 3 programs, the fellow program, the specialist program, and the virtual educator program. And I have been fortunate to be a participant in all 3 of them. So as a fellow, I was selected by the Department of State and I was placed in Cairo, Egypt. I wore many hats there. I was able to do many different things, but one of my major assignments was to teach English at Al-Azhar University. And Al-Azhar is one of the oldest universities in the world. It was established in 972 as the Center of Islamic Learning. And my students there were all adults. They were professors of the university who wanted to learn English. So this was a far cry from my job in New Jersey, where I teach elementary students who are just about learning English, who are immigrants, who are refugees, and sometimes have had no formal education at all. But my students here were already professors. They were looking to become PhDs and go on to further studies, study in the UK or the USA. So I really had to think what skills they needed. Definitely not the kind of skills that my young students need, but they needed to know how to write essays. They needed to know how to stand up and do presentations. They needed interview skills, and these were the kind of things they did. So in this picture, you see one of my students who's wearing the black and pink in the background. She is giving a presentation to her peers, just like we would do in a classroom here. So we did do a lot of formal English writing, like essay writing, presentations, interview skills. However, we also did informal English, for example, social interaction, social linguistics, and everybody from TCNJ might know what they are holding here. They're holding a map of the campus, the TCNJ campus, yes. And we were doing a lesson on how to give directions. So for instance, if you needed to go from the tennis courts to the library, how would you go? You know, I was teaching them how to say, turn right here or take a left here, or, you know, so that's what we were doing here. And in the background, you do see a hand with the rabbit ears. So when that happened, I thought, you know, teaching young children and teaching adults has something in common still. They're still making rabbit ears in pictures. There was a real fun element to learning and teaching there too. And just like young students, I realized they do need rewards and incentives and some fun in the lessons. So here you see me giving a Scholar of the Month to one of my students. He was very driven. He liked to talk a lot. He was a history professor, very passionate. And he was very, very keen to go either to the UK or to come to the US to do his PhD. And he told me, he said, I talk too much, so you have to stop me sometimes. But what I liked was his fearlessness. You know, I'm just going to talk, never mind the grammar or anything else. He knew his history really well. So apart from teaching adults, I also did trainings for the staff. This is the staff of the English Language Resource Center, which was run by the RELO, Regional Language Office, which comes under the US Embassy. I did weekly trainings for this staff. And of course, we all became very good friends. So they became my tour guides. They walked with me all over Old Cairo, took me into all little nooks and crannies that I would not have dared to go by myself. So I just want to emphasize that it becomes person-to-person diplomacy. We created really good relationships and friendships, and we are still all in touch. Apart from training the staff there and teaching at Al-Azhar, I also traveled with Nile Tisol to some of the tourist places. And this picture is taken in Luxor, where there are a lot of temples, the ancient Egyptian temples. So tourism is very big in Luxor. And a lot of the undergraduate students there are going to, or they plan to become tour guides. So we were doing English for tourism there. So what terms do we need for tourism? How do we explain what a monument is? How do we explain history? And that is what I was doing with them. Again, a lot of fun stuff there too. So just to wrap up about the fellow program, it is a great way to develop professionally because you get out of a classroom, you get out of a certain mindset, and you have to think outside the box because you are outside the box now. It is a great way to create personal connections, like I did with my teachers, with my students. So this is person-to-person diplomacy. So you are not just a teacher, but you are actually a mini diplomat. You are representing the country and you're bringing something new to them and you are learning something new. And you're using English just to create that bridge. You experience immersing yourself in a new culture, and it really makes you question yourself and try to understand yourself and your own beliefs and values, because what you believe, your faith or your race might be very different from what you see around you. I also took the opportunity to learn a new language there. So I took Arabic lessons. Again, a lot of fun in realizing what we have taken from Arabic, what Indian languages have taken from Arabic, which I had never realized how many words we had in common with Hindi and Arabic and even Marathi. And I just enjoyed this opportunity to create connections through the medium of English. So English was just kind of an excuse, but it was really the diplomacy that mattered. And I enjoyed that a lot. So if anybody wants to try the fellow program, if you are an American citizen and you have a degree, an ESL degree, an ESL background, please try, please apply. It's a lot of fun. And you never know which part of the world you might find yourself in and what you might be doing there. So go ahead and try. And okay, it's 8:12 here, which means I'm almost near my end time. Any questions or any comments or any thoughts?
Natasha, I just have one quick question. Thank you so much, first of all, for highlighting this for us. I mean, we absolutely loved watching you go through this experience. I can't remember if you mentioned this, but did you have choice over where you were posted, or was that completely a decision on the other side?
Well, they offered me Egypt and they told me what kind of work I was going to be doing, expected to be doing. And they asked me if that was something I was interested in. And the minute I saw Egypt, I said, yeah, I like that. I want to go. So yeah, I think if I had refused it, they might have offered me something else. So I guess there would be a choice in that case, but I wanted to do Egypt.
Great, thanks. I think Jacqueline might have a question in the chat.
I'm trying to click on that.
She's curious if it was a paid position.
Yes, it is a paid position. You do get a stipend. You get your rent reimbursed. You get all travel reimbursed, like your air travel. You can take your family if you have young children and you want to find a school for them and put them there. You can take your children. You can take your spouse as well. There's an additional stipend for that. So yeah, definitely look into the program if you're interested. And I am alumni ambassador this year, so this is my job to tell everybody about the program. And
the program always offer for graduate students and graduate students. TCNJ has several students and not in the ESL, some are in the ESL, they got the same kind of scholarship to teaching. One of the second elementary students did in Bangkok.
oh, okay.
Yeah, there are several, and I think at least the two in Korea, South Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, the government support. It's a similar program.
Okay, it's a similar program, but it's not the fellow program, because I think the fellow program needs an ESL degree.
Yes, yeah, it's from the same department, but they are similar. They support graduates.
Yes.
Or grad.
And there's a lot of Fulbright scholarships as well for students.
That's the same Fulbright for
Fulbright.
students. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So Jacqueline, yes, it is a paid position. And if you are interested, then definitely email me. I can send you more details. You're welcome. Okay. I think I ended right on time, 15 minutes. Thank you, Professor Leek, for being here. How are you? Good. Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad I got to your session.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And Shelley and Walla CEB or Wallace B. I'm guessing it's Wallace B. Yes, please do.
Brenda, you should go for the.
I what?
You should apply for the position. For the.
I don't have an ESL
No, Dean,
certification.
I think for the school education.
Oh, we'll talk, Wu.
Yeah.
You're trying to get rid of me. Wu's trying to get rid of me, Natasha. Wu's trying to get me off campus. He's trying to get rid of me. How long were you there, Natasha? Natasha, how long were you there? Oh, she's frozen.
She probably. Yeah, I usually it's like a year.
Yes.
Is it about a year?
Yeah.
Okay. I can take a hint, Wu. You're trying to get rid of me. Guess we'll go to the next session now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So it is for 10 months typically. I was there for 7 months because that's when COVID started. So I was evacuated. But because my cohort that was evacuated, if we want to be fellows again, we are still in the pool because we were evacuated and didn't get to complete. So if ever I want to just do that again, I might be able to.
That's great. Well, I enjoyed this so much. Thank you.
Huge.
And it was good to see you again. Good to see you again. And I guess it's good to see you, Wu, even though you're trying to get rid of me.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Natasha.
Bye, Dr. Wu. Thank you.
Bye.